I love sharing information, especially on finance, because I'm such a big consumer of it. So I really hope that my videos can help people to navigate things in their own journey through my own experience. So in today's video, I'm going to take you into my move from South Africa to the United Kingdom, and I'll show you exactly how much everything cost, all the way down to the rands and cents of each item. And let me tell you, it's not necessarily cheap, but it really does depend on so many factors and how you want to go about it, because we definitely were able to do it cheaper than others, but some people have done it much cheaper and much more expensive as well. So let's get started and I'll show you the final total amount at the end. Oh, and if you like personal finance stuff, then maybe subscribe to the channel. Now, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Things change and everyone has their own unique situations. So the amounts and processes will not always be the same. And if you are looking to do this or something similar, you will need to do your own research and look up all the latest details and prices. This here was just my own unique process. So my fiance and I moved over last year, March and April, and the first thing we needed to do was renew our UK passports, which we have from family. And yes, I know it makes it a lot easier. So to renew a passport at the time was 2,450 Rand and another 550 to use a tracked package to deliver the documents with DHL from SA to UK. So we did that for both of us, which came to 6,000 Rand. Then I got UK phone numbers on Skype where you pay a fee and get a digital UK number that you can call on Wi-Fi. Skype has been discontinued, but there are plenty of eSIM options. So we used this to call and get things sorted out on that side, and the cost was 118 Rand 43 each, and I paid an extra 110.90 in credits. So that's a total of 347 Rand and 66 cents. Now, here's an expensive one because we brought our cat and dog over. And just my opinion, but guys, please be responsible pet owners and take them with you. I know it's pricey, but rather just save up a bit more if you have to. We have one dog and one cat, and the UK is actually one of the easiest places to bring pets. You just need some vaccines and there's zero quarantine. So the cat's vaccines were 1,011.50 and the dogs were 679.15, plus a kennel cough vaccine for 300 Rand. Then we needed a titer test, which was 4,732 each. Now, for the pet's plane tickets, we used a pet travel agency called Petwings. They do everything for you and pick up at one door and drop off at the door in the other country and take care of all the paperwork. Honestly, they were really great. So there are cheaper ways to do it, but this was the way that worked for us. So one medium dog and one cat, the full flight, paperwork and delivery from door to door was 54,441.85. So the total price to move our two pets was 65,896.50. So is it pricey? Yes. Can it be done cheaper? Also yes. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Then we have our human flights. So I flew with Virgin Atlantic direct from OR Tambo to London Heathrow at a cost of 8,915 and 72 for the ticket. At this point, you might be wondering about our stuff. Now, there are different ways to do this. You can ship everything there or you can sell and rebuy, and each of those methods can end up cheaper depending on what you have and their value. We chose to sell and rebuy, but of course there was some sentimental and basics that we brought. We got some free space in a shipping container for like 3 items, and then we paid for 3 extra checked bags. So one checked bag as part of the ticket was 471. The first extra bag was 2,000, then the second extra bag was 4,000. So overall, 6,471 for 3 checked bags. Now, my fiance's flight had a stopover in Dubai, and on the day of the flight, Dubai flooded and the flight was cancelled. Sometimes you miss your flight, and sometimes entire deserts flood. So we then had to book last minute alternative flights, and it took a few months to claim back the original ticket price. But apart from all that, the original plane ticket was 10,715.30, which included 2 checked bags as well. So plane tickets, including carry-on bags and 5 large checked bags, was a total of 26,102 Rand and 2 cents. Now, before I get to the costs on the UK side, this is typically a finance channel, and as part of that, we also have a product which is a budget tracker spreadsheet. You set it up once with your income, expenses, savings, investments, and debts. It populates automatically for the rest of the year, and you just spend 30 minutes each month filling it in and getting a powerful overview each month and the year about where your money is going and what you can do to balance the budget and improve your financial standing in life. It's just $8 once off, comes in most major currencies, and you can use it every year for the rest of your life. So the link is in the description with everything you need to know and a full video on how to use it. So if that sounds like something you'd find useful, feel free to check it out. Now that is it for the move itself, but there were still a few more costs I think you will find helpful. So for the first month, I rented a simple Airbnb in a city center called Reading while I got everything sorted. Now here you can definitely do it cheaper in different areas, or if you want a simpler or shared setup or a shorter stay. But I wanted a space to myself and in a city center, so I paid a bit more and the Airbnb was 36,659 Rand and 55 cents for a month. Now remember that all of these costs are in pounds now, but I'll still convert them. I then bought a car, which I decided to do in cash. You can use finance if you need, but I had the cash available. I did eventually upgrade the car later on finance, but that can be a different video. Now, in the UK, you don't need a car because the public transport works really well, but for work and convenience, I bought a simple one to get me around for 63,250 and another 2,350 Rand in road tax for the year. I also bought another car cash for my fiance. Now, car insurance I got whacked on because I wasn't familiar with everything when I first applied. So I was paying 4,025 Rand per month for the first year, and I was definitely being overcharged. But eventually I knew better and renewed with a different provider. I paid for a year in advance and got a rate of just 1,000 Rand a month. We then got our rental, which suited our and our pet's needs, and we paid a once-off rental deposit of 34,500. And the last thing that you pay is your TV license, which you get actually a huge amount of stuff for, which was 3,875.50 for the year. Okay, so after this point, we get less into moving costs and more into living costs. So let's break down the moving cost and get to the total. Now remember that each move is unique, and based on your choices, you can make it much more or much less expensive. So if you have a passport and stay with a friend, your moving cost can be a simple 9,000 Rand and done. But for us, two people and two pets, the admin costs came to a total of 17,802 Rand and 31 cents. The cost to actually move us some stuff and two pets came to 80,543 Rand and 87 cents. So the actual moving cost itself came to 98,346 Rand and 18 cents, which I honestly don't think is too bad for that situation. Then the optional stuff, once we touch down, like Airbnb for a month, first month's rent, TV license, and buying a car cash, comes to 140,815 Rand, keeping in mind that 97,750 of that is actually assets that you can get back, like the deposit and the car value, and the Airbnb cost would be instead of rental you would have paid that month. So there you have it. Actual moving costs were 98,000 Rand. Now, as I said, so many of these will be different for different people, and I know that. But I hope that helped if it's something you may have coming up, or if you just had some curiosity. I can't give any official advice, but if you have general questions, you're welcome to ask them in the comments. But thanks for watching, subscribe if you want to see more finance content, and I'll see you in the next one, as always, on Casual Cash. Cheers.